Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you may not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least one discount. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
Yay Networks.
You're listening to the Chatty Daddies podcast.
This time of year, I just walk around and I talk like the Grinch at home.
You do? Well, why don't you start trying to talk like the Grinch now? I'm sorry. You're talking like the Jim Carrey Grinch.
Jim Carrey Grinch.
Not the.
I don't know the cartoon Grinch.
The Carl Borsaw.
How does that guy talk?
That's just the guy that sings it, right?
No. He doesn't. He does the whole.
But does he talk like this?
Carl, what is his name? I see it every single day. I have read the How the Grinch Stole Christmas 6 times already.
It's good.
And it's every night before bed. Chatty Daddies podcast, all that. And I'm Trey, Nick, JC.
Hi. Are we starting?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're starting with your Grinch.
Yeah.
So
Nick says that he around this time of year he starts talking like the Grinch.
Yeah, I just walk around and I talk like the Grinch.
Right.
Have you guys seen the social media videos of the Grinches you can meet at like Universal Studios theme parks and stuff?
And they're in
People
character?
wait in line hours. They're in character. They have great makeup and they're rude and they are hilarious.
Wow.
So you might as well go to that Dick's Last Resort restaurant or that
Kind of.
Karen's restaurant that they have now.
And, at least in the ones that I'm seeing, they put kind of and I'm not mad at this, just so we know, they put a little, feminine spin on the Grinch a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Almost, yeah. He's,
That's
not super manly, but he's, he's posing. He's, posing like a cheerleader and
totally.
stuff like that.
Like a gay Grinch.
Yeah.
just kind
Kind of like a gay Grinch.
Just kooky.
And then he talks like that sometimes.
Okay.
And so I went to a Christmas carnival. Was it a Christmas? It was a Christmas tree lighting. That's what it is. It's not a Christmas carnival. It was a Christmas tree lighting over the Thanksgiving holiday break over last weekend. And so they had a posting. My son loves the Grinch, obviously. And they had a thing saying, "Come meet the Grinch. The Grinch will be here." And I think they were doing a bit. Because when we went over there, there's a throne for the Grinch to be sitting in, and nothing more Grinchy than the Grinch to just not be there.
Well, maybe he
never
was
showed up
on a break. He's on a smoke
Well,
break.
I must have caught him on 3 breaks. You know what I mean?
He was always gone.
We came by. It was just a big town square, so we just kept making the
That's
loop.
pretty funny.
Is there an issue if your kids are more excited to meet the Grinch over Santa Claus? Is that a red flag? Because there's kid red flags that I see all the time.
And I understand. I don't have the answer to you. My son loves every villain. Loves it. The Big Bad Wolf.
He wants to be the bad guy?
Can the Big Bad Wolf come to dinner? Of course he can.
I think liking the Grinch just shows they have a sense of humor. I'd rather them be obsessed with it than be like a scaredy cat over every tiny little thing.
Yeah.
Because they know it's a joke.
Yeah.
And they're just like the most interesting character. You know, like that's
True.
They're mysterious. Like you gotta find out a little bit more about them.
Like growing up, I remember loving Batman, right?
Yeah.
And I hated the Joker. I was like, I hate the Joker. But now as a grown up, I feel like I low-key kind of like the Joker a little bit more.
But, I mean, maybe if it's like the very first time they've ever seen The Grinch and they don't know anything about it and they're like, oh my gosh, this is great. I'm so tired of Christmas. Thank goodness somebody's trying to deal with this problem.
Yeah.
But if they watch the whole thing, at the end, they realize his heart grows 3 sizes and then now he's a good guy. So you could root for the underdog, changing your life story. And maybe
that's a good reason to like The Grinch for sure.
Yeah, my kids have come around to the Grinch. They were scared of the Grinch for a while because all we had was the super old cartoon, which didn't really hold their attention a whole lot.
Really?
And then we had the Jim Carrey version.
Yeah.
And that one is pretty scary for like a 3-year-old or
Right.
something, or at least it can be. Now there's a Benedict Cumberbatch. It's like an animated one. I think it's
Right.
on maybe Netflix or something. That one's really good. So they really like that one, and now they've warmed up to the Jim Carrey one.
Nice.
Aw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I take over the podcast?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
up,
yeah.
man?
So I'm going to give myself a pat on the back. I am killing it when it comes to core memories with my son.
Okay.
Oh, you got another one?
Not too long ago, we talked about core memories on this podcast. I had snuck my son out of school to go to the fair one day, and we had a great day. And I think since the last time we've talked, I'm hoping we have 2 new core memories.
Okay.
I'm hoping. We'll see in 30 years if they actually are or not. So
On the reunion podcast.
I got him out of school a little bit early once again.
Is there anything better?
The Friday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So he was ready to leave, and I got him out of school like an hour early. And I surprised him by taking him to his first Texas A&M football game. I'm a big Texas A&M guy. He's been wanting to go to a big football game for a long time. He's been to a Baylor football game before.
And that's mom's school, right?
That's
No.
mom's school.
Yeah, that's.
And so
Go
I
Bears.
took him
Take 'em
to
Bears.
an A&M game, and he was thrilled, excited, ecstatic. Also, not too far away from Texas A&M, my brother, his like in-laws have a farm, and so we've been to that
Whoa.
farm once, and he's wanted to go to a game, and he wants to go back to the farm, so we did both.
Who did the Aggies play that game? Because
It was Abilene Christian.
okay, so it was a game that they won.
They were going to win,
Yeah.
and it was an early game. Thankfully, it was like
Yeah.
an 11 a.m. game. It was because nothing's worse than taking a kid to a 7 p.m. game,
and they're dead tired.
and it's cold and everything like that. Great weather.
Well,
everything was
Also, real quick for parents that are going to take their kids to games, very dangerous if you're taking them to your favorite team's game if they're going to play someone that's going to whoop their butt.
Yeah.
totally. You want to
Because
make it a good experience.
You wanted a good experience. My grandpa came to visit us in San Diego, took me to my first ever San Diego Chargers game. And I was a fan of the Chargers because I lived in that city.
Uh-huh.
They were playing the San Francisco 49ers.
and who were the quarterbacks?
In 1994, the quarterback, that's the year they won the Super Bowl, by the way. Their quarterback was Steve Young, who's in the Hall of Fame.
Heard of him, yeah.
Deion Sanders was there, who's also in the Hall of Fame, now coaching above Colorado. They had Jerry Rice.
I know like basically the whole roster for 49. No idea who played for the Chargers that year.
Exactly. Hanks was there, McDonald, all those guys. Man, they had a stacked team, and they just about destroyed the Chargers, who were having a good season, actually played them in the Super Bowl that season.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Beat the crap out of them. I walked away from that game going like, I kind of like the 49ers right now. You know,
Right?
they could be dangerous.
As a kid, you can easily be swayed by what
by
teams
winners.
you like.
By winners.
So it was a great weekend.
For the drive down to
Yes,
Texas
3
A&M,
hours.
I was gonna so when we went to a game, we got up at like 5 a.m. And I came and joined you at your
Yeah.
house, and we drove down and like had a few drinks beforehand. There's not, we don't want to get down there early to do
Yeah.
that with Davis. What time did y'all get up and start headed out, or did y'all stay down there ahead of time?
Are you talking the morning of the game?
Morning of the
Because we
game.
went down there Friday, spent the night at the farm.
Okay.
And then woke up Saturday.
That's the plan.
Went into town at maybe 8-ish and had breakfast. There was a line and everything to get breakfast. And then we just went onto campus early. It takes a long time to park. You got to walk
Right.
a long way. And then we get there. Tons of walking. A&M is a
Right.
giant campus.
Uh-huh.
And he was fine. Like no complaining or anything like
It's
that.
a boys'
I
trip,
was-
dude, of course.
I was thinking it would be a tough thing to do to go 3 hours down
Yeah.
there in the morning, go to a game, then hang out at the farm, and then drive back.
Yeah.
That's the
And
reason
then
I asked.
after the game, we played around campus. And, I almost got in a fight.
All right.
Like my
Whoa.
first fight in a long time.
I've
And
been-
I don't know how I feel about how I handled this situation.
Okay. Davis is with you?
No.
Okay.
Long story. I wasn't thinking about telling this story, and I just remembered.
I love
So
this.
long story. After the game, the kids want to play in just a big open field on campus. Great, you do that. I have a football in the car. My brother's staying with the kids. I walk to go get the football. Right. I'm coming back. As I'm coming back, my kids are not with me, but it's a very crowded place. There's a couple sitting on a bench, and like his legs are on one way, and she's like facing away from him.
She's mad?
I guess they're having what seems to be a heated
A
conversation.
lover's
A
quarrel.
tiff.
And I walk by. I can't hear what they're saying, but I walk by, and I can tell he is making really strong movements with his hands, and he's talking very forcibly, and she's sitting there, and it looks like she's crying.
College age?
College age. What seems to be college age. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel right about this. So I make like a big lap around so they don't see me. And I look and I like get a vantage point of her face.
Let's say it goes down. Are you confident you can take this guy?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. But you're
Why,
jumping
he's
my
sitting
story.
down.
You're jumping my story. He's sitting down. And so I make a big loop and I can see her face now. She's bawling. She is crying.
what a
and he's getting for it. And so
I'm team girl
I
right
walk I walk up to them. His back's towards me, her face is towards me. And I walk up to her and I say, "Are you okay?"
Oh, yes.
And that's about all I can remember of what actually happened. The rest is pieced together in my mind from what I think what happened.
Yeah.
Because it all happened so fast. I've never been in a fight. Anyone could, like, Quaid could beat me up. I am not a fighter.
I would put money down for you.
I'm not a big fighter. And so I say something like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Oh, thank you for stopping." She's like, "I think I'm fine." And he's yelling at her about something. And he starts bowing up to me. "What did you say? What are you talking about? This is my girlfriend. I'm having a conversation with my girlfriend." And I was like, "Hey, dude, I'm walking by. You're talking to her like you're mad, and she's crying. I'm making sure she's okay." "Oh, this is my girlfriend. I can talk to her wherever I want." And he stands up. He's like 8 feet tall.
Oh, no.
I mean, he is a tall guy, and he's wearing boots.
You
Just
got
off
he's
the
even
football
taller.
field.
Yeah, you got to kick him right in the nuts. Dude.
He's tall, and I was, and he said something. I was like, "Look, dude, I'm not trying to start anything. I'm making sure she's okay. I'm gonna take care of her. She's my girlfriend. You want to fight?" And I was like, "No, dude, I'm not gonna fight you." He's like, "You need to walk away."
And how
you
far
need to
away
walk
are you?
away.
Are y'all like 6 inches apart?
Me and this guy?
Yeah, that's how I picture it.
He's walking up towards me.
Okay.
It starts maybe 5 feet away, and he's walking up towards me. It's maybe we're like 2 feet apart.
yeah.
"You were fighting." I was like, "Dude, I'm not going to fight you. Are you going to make sure?" And she's like, "I'm fine. Thank you for stopping. I'm fine." I said, "Okay." And I walked away.
Okay,
I look
good.
around. There's no police officers around. I don't see anyone that I can like talk to.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I
so
walk
you're
up
gonna
to-
sucker punch him?
No, I walk up to a guy who's like directing traffic, who's not far away. And I'm like, "Hey, is there any security around here?" And he's like, "I'm security." And I said, "Oh, okay." And I said, I pointed out what's happening, and he said, "I'll take care of it." And he walked over and started talking to the couple.
Yeah.
And the guy walked away, and I don't know what happened after.
Oh, okay. So you got a crossing guard to go across him
I
up.
guess he
Awesome.
said he was security, but I'm not gonna fight somebody.
I know you're
mean,
not.
unless it has something to do directly with my family, I'm probably not gonna fight somebody.
Worst advice I ever got in college from a friend. Worst advice. Don't do this. And I thought about it right as soon as he told me. He said, "Hey, man, if you ever find yourself in a situation where a guy's clearly bigger than you and very aggressive, right? You could tell he's bigger and stronger. All you got to do is tell him, 'Hey, man, I don't want to do anything. I'm professionally trained in mixed martial arts, and I have a bout coming up, and I don't want any issues.'"
Yeah.
And I go, "That is the dumbest thing
No.
you could say to someone, because what if that guy goes, 'Bet.'"
Me too.
Yeah, like, what if they call you out on it, you
Yeah.
idiot, and then you're stuck getting your butt kicked by a humongous guy who's probably also mixed martial arts trained.
So what should I have done?
No, you did
I'm
fine.
I'm glad that I seem to have stopped whatever happened. I'm not going to fight this guy. I'm not going
Right.
to walk back to my kid
Right.
on the other
Yeah.
side of this building with a bloody nose and a black eye.
You did right.
What did I do?
You did the right thing.
Like
An
I'm like
A+.
50-50 of how I.
Yeah, sometimes as guys, we got to let other guys know you're being a douchebag.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what you were doing.
No.
You go walk up, you ask the girl, "Are you all right?" Letting the guy know, "Hey, what you're doing and the way you're talking to her in public is making another man come up and make sure that she is okay. So you gotta reel that back in and check yourself, sir."
I'm kind of thinking like, hopefully in her mind, she's realizing like, wow, this was bad enough where some random guy stopped me and asked if I'm okay. I
need
should
to get out of
probably
this.
get out of this relationship.
Exactly. Yeah, I think you
Now-
did the right thing.
I was wondering, like, as you're walking around the building, like, what's going through your like? I'm walking around so that I can.
After he tries to fight me and I leave?
No. The first time around,
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
I'm going to make a loop. Like,
Yeah.
Your thought process when you're like, I'm going to make a loop
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that I can watch what's happening. What was your thought
Well,
process?
I was
as
like,
you're-
I need to figure out, am I reading the situation properly?
okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It seemed like what I thought was true, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
And I couldn't walk by without maybe saying something. And so as I was walking up there, I was like, yeah, this might not be a good idea, but I don't know.
Probably 10,000 people walked past them fighting.
didn't
Oh,
do
it was
anything.
packed. It
Absolutely
was a
nothing.
crowded place.
So,
So
you did a much better thing. Than
The only time
others.
I've ever done that was because I've seen couples fight, and I tend to go around along the lines of, okay, this is their relationship. I don't need to butt in. And sometimes they're crying, but not to the point where they're aggressive like this
Yeah.
guy you're describing. But the only time I've said something is when a guy was verbally calling her a bitch.
Yeah, some names and stuff.
And I stepped in and said, "Are you okay?" And the guy also bowed up a little bit. I was like, "Man, you're doing this. You're calling her a bitch in public, dude. That's not cool." And he kind of had an epiphany at that moment. I was like, "You're right." And he actually did not get aggressive, which was good because also this guy was pretty big too.
This guy was tall.
Yeah.
I do think just even letting somebody know you see what they're doing makes them realize that, hey, I am in public.
Maybe.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just to bring it back to dadding, whenever I go to parks with my kiddos, mainly when I just go with Quaid, there have been an alarming number of times that there's just a random guy. Like, I think it's only 3, but that's alarming to me. This is a random guy, no children at the park.
That is weird.
Different parks. So I'll go over and just be like, "Hey, how's it going? I'm Trey. What's your name?" Like, just to meet him, just to let him know that I see him. He's around, and just talk to him. Like, "Oh, who's your kid?" He's like, "I don't have one here."
Have I told you guys a story of we had a confrontation in an old neighborhood we lived in? My wife is one of those wives that goes on the registry. And sees
you got to.
You got to. As a parent, you want to know who's around. And unfortunately, there was a dude in our neighborhood that was he was one of those.
Is this at the pool?
Yeah. Did I tell this on this podcast?
Yeah, you have before.
That was the only time we had a confrontation where Kinsey basically was like, "You got to get out of here." And basically,
did he leave after?
Yeah.
So I remember, didn't a couple moms speak up or something?
A couple moms were talking, but not to him. Kinsey was the one that finally went up to him and said, "I know your name. I know what you did. Get out of here.
Ooh.
I don't want you seeing my daughter in her bathing suit." And I was just standing there like, "Yep." And he didn't say anything. He just said, nodded head, got up, walked out, left.
Crazy.
Okay, so that was my first core memory. Back to core memory.
Yeah.
The second one that I hope is a core memory for my son. So I told you guys a while ago on his birthday, I started reading him Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Love it.
That book, I love that book series. It's great. It's so much fun. And so I was like, man, is he going to get into this? I don't know. It's a very long book. I got a book. They have these new books out where they have a lot of pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
There's really cool drawings.
Which helps.
That kept him interested. It's a long book. It took us about 2 months to go through this book. And I would read to him every other day or something like that. And we're reading, and I can tell when we first start, man, it's a confusing book. It's hard for a 7-year-old to understand these things.
I'm a grown man and I'm confused.
It's hard for me to understand everything.
It's the full book.
The full book.
Okay.
I don't remember
Not
how many
the
pages.
abridged for kids version. Okay.
Full book. And we're reading it, and I get into it. I do voices for all the characters. He loves it. And what?
I want to hear it.
Hermione.
Let's see. Well, Hermione would talk like this.
Dude,
and then Ron would talk like this, Harry, and then Draco would talk like this.
Can you do this?
Snape would say Harry Potter.
Can you do this on the fly, like as you're reading it, like fairly well? Nick, I want to hear you read the whole book. I think it would be
do it.
fantastic.
I
did it over.
You need to do that as a thing. I didn't know you could do voices.
And Dumbledore talks like this. And Professor McGonagall would talk like this.
Give me your Harry.
Well, Harry just has a normal voice because he
Regular
has
guy.
the most lines, so I didn't want to do anything too crazy. And then Hagrid talked like this.
You're the best dad of the whole wide world.
So
pretty good.
it was fun. As we're getting into this book, we start out, it's confusing, it's hard, but slowly over these 2 months, he gets into it. He's interested in it. When it seems like he's falling asleep or doesn't pay attention, he says something where I know he is. You know, he's asking about it. Then he wants to read this book with me. He's like, "Hey, can we go to bed early so that we can read this book?" My plan is working great. And so we're reading it, and it comes down, just this past week, it comes down, we finished the book. And it's the very last, he was excited like all week because he knew we were going to finish this book this week. And it comes down to like the last couple pages, some great things are happening. I'm getting like a little misty just reading this book because I can tell he's into it, and he's like guessing what's going to happen next. And we finish the book, and he's kind of reading along with me. We finish the book, and I don't think I've seen him so happy. He starts jumping up and down in his bed and celebrating.
At the ending?
At the end, we did it. We finished it, and we're high-fiving, we're screaming, we're laughing, and he gives me probably the biggest hug he's given me in a long time. And we're close. Like, hugs are normal, but he gave me just the most genuine hug. And he says, "I'm so happy I could cry." He said that to me. And I just lost it. And it's just like, it worked. Like, this is perfect. I spent $12 on this book.
And big time core memory.
And that had a bigger impact, I hope, on our relationship than taking him to Disney World twice.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, and it's Harry Potter. Like, it's a silly book about make-believe and dragons and wizards.
Ooh, I got a little misty-eyed just hearing that.
He loved it, and he's so excited to read the second one. I'm going to give us a little break for a while.
You know, the second one, I guess he's 7.
Yeah.
But the second one, pretty quickly on, you find out about a dead cat.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, there's death and all this stuff. And
That's good for kids to learn about it.
I do get a little, because parts of it are kind of spooky, and he gets a little skittish at things. So, like, if I know that something scary is going to happen, like, maybe we'll read during the day after school.
Smart.
Not at bedtime or something. But I just got to say, like, I hope that was a core memory. Like, now, like, that book now, to me, like, I don't ever want to get rid of this book.
Yeah.
I want to keep it, like, we're not selling it in a garage sale. This is a book that I'm keeping forever.
You know what?
So I hope he remembers.
You
that,
guys should
maybe.
both sign it. You should have him sign it and you sign it.
Oh,
And
that's
just have it, and that way you give it to him when he gets older,
Yeah.
and then when he has kids, he could read it to his kids, and they sign it, and that could become like your family,
maybe
your family book, your family tradition.
Yeah, there's some illustrated versions of this book. So if you're a millennial like me and love Harry Potter and want to do this with your kids, there's an illustrated version. It's like real big too, so the pictures are big and it's awesome.
Maybe it was you that was trying to give Davis a core memory, but Davis gave you a core
That's
memory.
true.
That's what it was.
That's true. It
And
was, man.
wild, man, because I had a core memory as well with my son Kaysen, and very similar, very emotional. We during the Thanksgiving break, we had our last football game. I think we talked about it in the last podcast.
Because you've been coaching this team
Since they were 5.
and how old's Kaysen now?
Kaysen's 11.
Yeah.
So since they were in kindergarten to 6th grade, we've been coaching these kids from flag to transition into tackle football to now sending them off to middle school. And I was trying to prepare myself, so much so, guys, that I've been doing therapy.
I mean, it's a big
Yeah.
it's a big task that you took on.
It is.
To be a coach of a football team of how many kids are on the team.
About 18 on this year, 18, but we've had as many as 20 in the past.
Yeah.
But 18
Sixth of your
kids.
life.
And
So you're taking on leading a group of, all the different kids that have come and gone, 30 different lives you're touching.
And there are times when you start realizing there's kids that are similar to me, right? There's kids that maybe didn't have their parents at their football games all the time, or maybe they don't have a dad very present in their life. And so I kind of gravitate a lot towards those kids because I find myself to have a lot in common with them. And that's who you bond with. And at times I would feel guilty because I felt like my son had to share me with 17 other kids.
Totally.
That's got to be hard. So, when you first start, at least like me, if I'm talking to someone else, my kids want my undivided attention. Did he ever have a problem with that, especially early on when you were coaching?
Not once.
Wow.
Not once. And that made me, and I would ask him, I said, hey, are you okay with me getting so close with these kids? Or sometimes I would go and maybe if they didn't have enough presents, I'd get them birthday presents or take them to lunch or whatever. Are you okay with me doing these things? And he'd always say, yes. I want them to, they're like my brothers. Mm-hmm. And we ended up winning our game, which was great. This is like the happy ending I wanted.
The final
for our
game.
Final
was
game.
it the championship?
It was a championship game against the team that has beat us the last 2 years in the championship, and we finally beat them in the championship.
What a
which was
little
great.
storybook ending.
Like, yeah.
And we're sitting there after the game, and you're so excited and so happy until all the kids are in front of you, and you realize this is it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not all going to be there together again.
Never again. We will never play a football game together or be coached by us ever again.
How many other coaches are there?
There
like,
were
on the team?
me and 4 other guys.
And usually the same coaches the whole time?
It's been us, the same coaching staff, not one turnover.
Mm-hmm.
The same guys this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And I cried for the first time in front of these boys. Talking to them, I cried. I said, it's been a pleasure. I love you guys. And you realize you're not going to see some of those kids ever again.
Right.
And that's life.
Because
right?
they don't all go to the same school.
They don't all go to the same school. Some of the kids live a little bit further away. Some of them maybe might not keep playing football. Some of them were playing up, so they're younger, so they're going to play on another team next year with different coaches. And so you lose touch. It's like it's school. You move on to after high school, you don't talk to many people, or same with middle school. And we got really emotional, and I was looking around, and kids that I deemed to be super tough, I could see they were tearing up, and it hit me really hard. And so I went home after that, and I was in the office looking at our video from our game. Just one last ride, and Kaysen walked in, and he said, thank you. Same thing, bro. He came up and gave me a hug and said, thank you for being a part of their life.
Yeah.
And for pushing me.
You guys got to stop, man.
Dude, this kid, and we sat in my office hugging each other. And I said, he started crying, and I'm crying. Then Kinsey walks in. She walks in and she looks at us, and we're just sitting there, two dudes just crying, holding each other. I'm still wearing my coach shirt, and in case you're not already changed, but I'm sitting there. And she just walked in, she looked at us, smiled, and closed the door. But it was one of those where I'm like, my son came and thanked me for something he didn't have to thank me about.
Yeah.
And that was one of those memories where I'm like, I'm never going to forget that moment in my office, trying to relive that one last moment with those kids, and have my son walk in at that moment and say, and notice what I was doing and go, thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I'm sure throughout your coaching tenure for this team, there's been a lot of moments that were hard, and there's been a lot of moments that you're like, oh man, I'm so glad I'm doing this, and it all built up to that moment. I'm a big proponent of kids. You don't have to have your kid in sports, but I'm a big proponent of have your kid in something. Anything.
Have them
be on the art team. It can be in gymnastics.
Theater, gymnastics, cheerleading, soccer, football, whatever it is, but involve them in something that is outside of their comfort zone. They have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That was a big thing that we told kids all the time. You got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Life is always going to be uncomfortable. Put them in a team atmosphere where they create a family outside of your family. Because I think that literally teaches kids how to be team players, how to be successful people. You're going to have ups and downs, disagreements. You're going to have falling outs with people, but you got to still come together because guess what? You have a show to put on. You have a game to play. You have this to do, and you got to rely on those people. I see parents that don't want to put their kids in sports because they feel like, it's too much. I got to take them to practice, or my kid's not good enough. It doesn't matter how good your kid is. It's just putting them in that situation that's going to benefit them the most. And it's done. Man, I'm sad. I'm still sad about it. I still think about these kids, and I still have some of their parents. I could tell that they want to keep in touch quite a bit and stuff. But that was an end of an era for me, so I'm gonna start something new now.
Does Chloe have any coaching openings on her soccer team?
Unfortunately, no, because Chloe plays select soccer, and your boy here was not a soccer player. Yeah. So that there's nothing I can do there.
It's football.
Football. But yeah, she's playing that. But I'm there. Oh, dude, that's another core memory. You just reminded me. The day I flew back from our kids trip.
Yep.
I touched on this on the radio show. I flew back early, Nick, for the first time ever. I felt extreme guilt
because of the game.
Because of the game. It was I'm not gonna let those boys down and not be there for the last game. And I asked everybody at work, and everybody was super cool and supportive. Yeah. And so I flew back early Saturday morning. I landed and I called Kinsey. And I said, hey, what you doing? And she said, I'm at Chloe's, she had a soccer game, her first tournament game. We're at her tournament game. We're just getting here. And I look and I said, how far away is it? And she goes, you need to go home and sleep. You have a game in like 4 hours and you've been up.
You've been walking around Disney World for the last 24
Disney
hours.
World, and I've been up at 2 o'clock our time here. She's like, you need to go to sleep. You're going to crash. And I have health issues and stuff. And she's like, you need to be healthy for the kids. And I started driving and I said, you know what? No. So I went on the team app, and I saw where they were playing, and I drove there instead of home. And I pulled up, and I see them playing. I could see their jerseys, so I pull up, and I see Chloe's on the field. And so I start walking out there, and I'm just quietly watching from the back. And finally, after halftime, I walk up to Kinsey, and it's tied 1-1. And I say, hey, I came. And she turned around and she goes, oh my God, Chloe's going to be so happy. And as she says that, I look on the field and Chloe's looking at me like, that guy looks like my dad. And she finally realizes it's me. And I wave at her and she waves the biggest, happiest smile. And they start the second half and it goes. And soccer, they don't score very much. And towards the end of the game, Chloe ends up getting a pass in front of the goal and kicks it like it's hard to do what they do. Soccer players, you guys are incredible. She kicks it and just arches it over the goalie, hits the top, and goes in. And then the game ends a couple minutes later. She got the game-winning goal. Game-winning goal. I've never seen my daughter get a game-winning goal. It was her first one ever.
Amazing.
Ever. And when she was coming off the field, Kinsey caught her. She goes, I got my first ever game-winning goal. She was so excited. And I got to be there for that.
Yeah.
I didn't have to watch it on video. And I said, I flew in to see that. And she looked at me, and she came over and gave me the big hug. And she said, why'd you come? And I said, if I'm here, I'm not missing. And that, man,
It's great.
I got to watch my daughter
That's
kick
a big
game
day.
winning, the first one ever, and I didn't have to see it on video. I was so happy.
You know, I think as we go on and have ups and downs as parents, it's so clear, and I've heard this before, but it's just so clear that like the biggest thing that you can do is just showing up.
Yeah.
It's just being there. Like you don't always have to say or do the perfect thing. If you're just there, if you're just present, if you're just around, that's going to do so much more for your kids than anything else.
And Trey, you're about there.
Yeah.
You and Quaid are about to start having those moments.
Yeah,
and I
that's
see you, and I watch you, bro, just from interacting with your kids. You're an awesome dad.
Thank you.
I know we've told Nick he's an awesome dad. I think we're all doing a pretty damn good job.
Doing good.
For sure.
Yeah,
I hope so.
I don't have any stories that are going to make anybody cry this week, but I appreciate you two making me have to hold something back.
Well, you're going to have to do it here in the next couple of years because my son's in middle school now, and he's going to be way too cool for school. and Quaid and Davis is right around the corner from that, too.
Quaid's going to have to pick up the slack.
One last thing before I forget. The other day, my son, I'm very proud of my son for he pulled me aside and I could tell he really wanted to talk about something.
Yeah.
And I could tell he was nervous to bring something up. And his voice was a little shaky. And he just said, Dad. And this was out of nowhere. Like he had been playing Legos or something. And then he just came in and said, Dad, I got to talk to you about something. I really don't want any more little kid characters on my shirts, on my socks,
He's moving
on my
up.
underwear. And part of me was like, oh, great. Like you're growing up. This is like, I was proud of him for coming to me and talking like unsolicited out of the blue. He talked to me about something that he was a little nervous to talk about. I was so proud about that. And then, but I'm also a little like, oh, but that little boy is growing up.
Yeah.
Like, it's real. It's tough.
It's tough when that
you know?
happens.
And I get it. Like sometimes if he's walking in and I see all of his other kids wearing like a Nike sweatshirt and his sweatshirt is like Paw Patrol, it's like, well,
Yeah.
I think it's time to get you just like a plain black sweatshirt.
You know what you did right, though? You didn't push that out of him. He
let
did
him
it.
do it.
You got to let your kids do it on their own.
And, I mean, I'm sure he's got some nice stuff but if he wants to wear the Paw Patrol,
Let him
wear it till he doesn't want
Yeah.
to.
My son was holding my hand. We went walking to go get a cranberry Sprite. And my son is almost my height, guys. He's tall. And we were
He's
walking
got better hair than you ever did when yours was like
100%.
Yeah,
And,
he's got long hair now.
He does.
and we had to cross this busy street. And I was going to do like, it was kind of rush hour. I was like, all right, we got to time it out. We're going to run across the street. I got to teach you to be a boy. And he looked at me and goes, no. He was genuinely scared. And we got to the median. And we're sitting there and we're walking along the median because the other side was too crazy. And so I was like, let's just wait for another pause. And he reaches and grabs my hand. And he's holding it. And this was a weird feeling because I almost pulled away.
Yeah.
I almost did.
There's a man trying to hold my hand.
Yeah, there's a hand of the same size as yours.
I'm like, there's going to be people driving down the street thinking, this is weird. This looks like a weird couple.
I understand the
And
feelings.
so I almost pulled away, and something in me said, no, dude, don't be an idiot. Hold your son's hand as long as he will freaking hold your hand. So we're walking in the median with rush hour traffic and we're just walking, two dudes. And I look over and I'm like, man, we are not going to be able to cross that street. Let's cross back to the street we came from, and let's try this little store and see if they have it. And he goes, okay. But he still had kid qualities. He was still scared to cross the street.
Yeah.
Technically, yes, we jaywalked, but I was being really safe, guys. I promise you. I was trying to teach him how to do this. And then when we got to the sidewalk, we're walking. He grabbed my hand again, and he's holding my hand.
Yeah.
And again, I had that feeling of, do I tell my son, let's be dudes now and not do this? And I said, no. I walked my dude all the way to a CVS, walked into the store holding hands. And wouldn't you know, a freaking dude with his son about my son's age are right there walking out, not holding hands.
Yeah.
And they gave us the weirdest freaking look ever.
Let him.
And in my head, I'm like, I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
My son is still comfortable enough to hold his dad's hand. I'm going to hold it. If he's 32 still holding my hand, I'm going to hold his hand.
Totally.
I don't care. Even though part of me was like, I almost pulled away.
Yeah, that's all right.
Those moments, they come. The last time comes before you know it. I don't know when the last time will be that he holds my hand.
Yeah. I don't know why you guys wanted to get all emotional today, but y'all did it. Good work.
Yeah.
It's the holiday season, Trey.
Yeah. It's something about
that's
the
what it is.
holidays.
That's what it is.
It's
You're right.
that.
All right. Well, there's all the ways to contact us in the description below. We would love for you to rate and review on the whatever platform you're listening to us on. And until next time, I'm Trey.
I'm JC.
And I'm Nick. And don't forget,
Stand up straight.
The Chatty Daddies Podcast.